All right, so somebody was asking me, do I believe in fate? That's F-A-T-E, as in things are fated, as in you're destined, right? Like you can't avoid certain things. You know, fate, it's unavoidable. So somebody asked me if I believe in that, and I told them yes and no. So they asked me to elaborate, and I had to go into, explain to them. So I'm gonna make a video and just talk about that a little bit. So do I believe that you're just destined for certain things and it's unavoidable? Yeah, yes, absolutely. So then that begs the question, do you have free will? No, you don't have free will. You have an illusion of free will, but you don't have free will, because free will means to be able to act without being influenced. So it means to act on your own terms without being influenced. And my proof that none of us have free will is layman terms, something simple. This is one of many. One of my number one lay proofs that nobody have free will, and free will is an illusion, and that I do believe and I don't believe. Two things can be true at once. I'm going to explain. I do believe in fate, F-A-T-E, that we are fated to certain things, destined to certain things, and I don't believe that we're destined to certain things and we're fated to certain things. So I'm going to explain the seemingly paradoxical sentiments here. But first, let me just say this. There is no free will. It's an illusion. I think I'm being very, very specific and measured here. There is no free will in terms of the definition. So look up the word free will, look up the term free will, and it's defined, how it's defined. And it's defined as one's ability to act on one's own terms, free from influence. It's specifically, you have to look at the term free from influence. That's that's the code. That's the hidden code right there. Free from influence. To be able to act on your own terms, free from influence. That is free will. That's the definition of free will. Well, and that's, with that strict definition, there is no free will. And the analogy or the example is this. Every morning you get up and you go to work. A normal, mentally sound person, right? We're not talking about somebody who's given up on life or what, but a normally mental and sound person gets up and go to work every morning. And one can make the argument that that's an act of free will, right? But it's not. And I'm just using that, again, keeping it very layman term, very simple. But that's not free will. You get up and go to college, you go to school to get an education. One can call that, you choose Yale, Harvard, whatever. You would choose a college to go to. One would say that's your free will. No, it's not, right? There is none, because you don't get up and go to work on your own accord. You get up and go to work because of your mortgage holder, your banks. Whoever your bank is that gave you that mortgage, that's why you get up and go to work. Whoever your lender is that gave you that car note, that's why you get up and go to work. Whatever the academic institution that you're gonna enroll in or matriculate into, that's why you get up and go to work. I think you guys see my gist. Again, free will means to do what you want, free from any influence. The mortgage backer, the mortgage lender, the car payment holder, the car note lender, they're influencing you to get up to go to work. So therefore, you have no free. That's according to the strict definition of what it means to have free will. Right? Again, we want to keep it, when I tell people, whenever you talk to me, I'm very measured. I'm a stickler in terms of words, meaning I'm very precise. I'm microscopic in terms of definition, and so in terms of a strict definition, you have no free will, because the definition means to do what you want to do without influence. You're being influenced because if you don't make those mortgage payments, that bank's going to foreclose. So therefore, there's an influence there that's moving you. Your decision that you made to get up in the morning is influenced by that bank or that payment, that lender. And again, I'm using lay terms here. I can go so much deeper. The cereal you eat, the clothes you wear, the movies you watch, the person you date, where you decide all that what you call free will, it's not. None of it is. But for the sake of time, let's just stick with the mortgage and the car for simplicity purposes. That should sufficiently make my point. You can argue it, but that should sufficiently, I think, convey my point. All right, so the fated part now. Do I believe in FATE? You're destined and you cannot escape your fate. Yes, I do believe that, and no, I don't. What do I mean by that is this. The yes part, the yes, I do believe it is this. If I'm going to give you, I like to use illustrations because, using illustrations convey and it allows us to understand the higher truth, right? When we use simplicity to make something profound easier to gestate, which means to take in and to ruminate and to cultivate and to develop in the mind. So here's this. You cannot escape your fate if you choose a script. If you choose a script that every script, think of a movie writer, every script has certain features that are unique to that script. Every script has certain features, certain qualities, certain properties that are unique to that script. So if I'm a movie writer, you're a movie writer, she's a movie writer, and we're all writing different scripts. Each script, we might choose a theme to write about. Ice cream. We're all going to write a movie about ice cream. But those scripts are going to be unique to my flavor that I probably like in ice cream. Yours is going to be your flavor, hers, his. Everybody's going to have their own unique touch on how they write their script, though the theme might be the same. What am I getting at? What I'm getting at is, once you choose a script, every script has particular properties in it that is inescapable. So if you choose a script, and when I say choose a script, I mean choose whatever path in life. You choose to be a bank robber. That script of robbing banks have characters in it that my script of going to school doesn't. What I mean is, my path, my script, I chose to, go to school and become a doctor, a med school. You chose to sell drugs and rob banks, whatever. So you chose a life of crime. I chose a life of education and academical education and so on and so forth. Those are separate scripts, and each script has particular characters in it that's inescapable. So because I chose an academic script, I'm going to meet professors. I can't escape that. That I'm fated to meet professors. I'm fated to meet higher intellects and scholars. Potentially, I'm fated to meet legislative agents and officers. I'm positioning myself to meet and come across these people because I'm going to med school, right? So I'm slated, I'm positioning myself to come across, meeting potential. These are potentials. These are the characters that's in my script. I might meet scientists. I might meet politicians because I'm going to be in that environment in that script, right? You're in med school. As you matriculate higher into higher and higher, you're going to be going to meetings. You're going to be going to functions, and so in the script, there are things that are fated that it's inescapable. Case in point, a simple example is I will be meeting higher level of professors, right? Each professor will have different levels and status in terms of their ranks. I'm slated to meet that because of the script I chose, which is med school. You chose a script to rob banks. You are fated to meet prison. You get what I'm saying? At some junction, at some point, you're going to meet the prison. You're going to meet the warden. You're going to meet the warden. You're going to meet other inmates, murderers, etc., etc. Why? Because you're fated in that script. There's characters in that script, and that's where I believe fate and destiny has its play. That's where I believe it has its validity. Once you choose a script, in that script, there are things that are fated that you can't escape, that you must meet. So yes, that's my definition of how I understand fate and destiny. Hope that makes sense to you. And before I wrap it up, I will say that's my agreement with fate and destiny. That's how I agree with it. How I disagree with it is in the same story I just told you, because you choose your fate by choosing your script. Till next time, peace.